lot of credit. They played a heck of a ball game tonight. I thought Cole Sands, we knew coming into the game that Cole Sands, has great stuff and can really pitch. Had 3 pitches going tonight. And I thought he did an outstanding job, and then they turned it over to Van Eyck. Van Eyck's one of the most talented arms in our league. That's a tough mix. I mean, that's a tough mix for an offense, Sands and Van Eyck. But, our guys threw the ball very, very well, too. Jake Higginbotham gave us a great start. Thought he threw very, very well, and our bullpen was fine. Riley did a heck of a job in the situation he was in with the bases loaded to get out of that situation the way he did, to make the pitches he made. And Chris Williams had a big night for us, with the big inning there. I hit the 3-run homer in the 4th. But the bottom line, I think the biggest difference was we had some opportunities to score some runs, and we just didn't do it. We just didn't come up with the sac fly or a base hit with runners on base. In a couple different situations, and that was really the difference in the ball game. There was a couple little things that we needed to do a better job of, but for the most part, our pitching staff, I felt like, did a great job. We played a good game defensively, but the bottom line is we got to do a better job with runners on base, and struck out entirely too much. But again, you're facing a guy like Sands. Sands is probably going to be taken in the first 2 rounds of the draft, and Van Eyck's going to be special. So I think that it was great for our guys and for our team to play in this type of game, in this type of atmosphere going into next week, and to be put in those pressure situations that they were put in tonight. I don't know if anything could prepare our guys for next weekend more than tonight's game. But Florida State, give them credit. They were a little bit better than us tonight. They got a great club, but we got a great club too, and we'll get better from this. Proud of the way that our guys fought. Florida State was a little bit better.
Questions? Start right down here in front.
Monty, I'll go ahead and get this out of the way. I don't think I've ever seen you that maybe fired up, maybe just the second ejection of your career. Just what was going through your mind there? Were you trying to fire the team up, or was it just frustration kind of boiling over? Well, obviously I can't comment on the situation, but at that point I was pretty fired up. That's about all I can say.
Go back here.
Chris, I know this loss stings a lot, but you're bound for the all-tournament team, swinging the bat as high as you've been all season. And after the way last season ended with the injury and missing the tournament last year, how special has this been for you?
This tournament's been a lot of fun for everyone here at this team, on this team. Before, even today, we're all loose, having fun, and being able to be a part of it. And when I say that, I mean being on the field and just being with my brothers. It's been absolutely amazing to be able to experience this one more year and coming back and doing that. So it's been very special to me, and it's a lot of fun, and I'm taking it every day, being grateful every day.
Next question back here.
For Monty, as far as sending Jake out for the 7th, were you just trying to squeeze another inning out of him, or were you always going to go to Spires at some point in the 7th?
Yeah, we felt like once we got down to the right-handed hitter with Flowers, that was the spot to bring in Spires at that point. Just with with Mendoza and with Wells, Mendoza, and Albert, we felt like it was a good matchup for Jake. He had been executing pitches, and Mendoza's a really good hitter. He put one good swing on him early, but besides that, I felt like Higgy had done a nice job with him, and we felt like it was the right matchup at that point to send him back out there.
David?
Monty, the next step for you guys is to watch the selection show Sunday. Pretty sure you're going to host at least a regional, but in your mind, still worthy of hosting a super regional or being a national seed with the 45 wins?
Well, I believe so. I mean, we led all Power 5 conferences or programs, I should say, in Division I baseball in wins. So, 22-8 in the ACC. We've got 45 wins. I don't know if there's anything from a resume standpoint that would say otherwise. So I think our resume stacks up with anybody's in the country. ACC is one of the best conferences in the country, and we've had a great year up to this point, and I do believe that we deserve a national seed.
Next question.
The losing has not necessarily happened often over the last 22. You've only lost 3 of the last 22. What does this do for your ball club as a motivational tactic? Maybe, bring out some of the intensity in that, as far as, you've been having fun this week, but what does that do for your ball club to motivate you coming in next week and the rest of the tournament?
Well, we embrace the competition in the heat of the moments. I mean, again, we've done that time and time again. Just look at our record in one-run games and how many one-run games we played, how many tight games we played, and we've turned out on the better end of those games. It didn't happen tonight, and again, Florida State deserves the credit. It's not going to happen every night, but again, I think the big thing for me of what I take away from it is we just played arguably one of the 10 best teams in the country. In a great environment for the opportunity to play for the ACC championship. We came up a run short, and I think that the learning, all the different situations that our guys can learn from tonight is going to only make us better going into the postseason, because we know we're going to face high-quality opponents in an NCAA regional. So it's only going to make us better. Failure is something that you learn and grow from, and our guys will tell you we embrace it. I mean, we embrace failing because that's the only way you're going to get better. And sometimes when you're winning day in and day out, it's tough. My messages to the team are pretty simple when you win 19 out of 21. I mean, just think about that run. I think that's right. I don't keep up with it, but, I mean, we won 19 out of our last 21 games. I mean, it's hard to send a lot of messages. Just keep doing what you're doing. So, we'll learn from this, and we'll be better from it. But, again, I don't know if we could compete any harder. We didn't execute, as good as we would have liked to in some critical situations. And in the postseasons, when you're facing high-quality arms and opponents, when you get those opportunities, you got to capitalize. And that's the big thing that we can take from tonight. We didn't do a good enough job there.
Another question, David?
This would be for both Chris and Jake. When you see your coach get fired up and take up for you, does it make you respect him even a little bit more, to see that he's willing to kind of put it on the line for you guys? Jake,
let's start with you.
I thanked him after the game for going to battle for us. Everyone in the dugout's competing. Everyone on the field's competing. Sometimes emotions runs high. It means a lot that he's going to go to battle for us, and that he's got our backs, and he's out there competing just as hard as we are. We compete on every pitch. That's one of the staples of our program. So to see our head coach do it, I think it gave us a little energy jolt, and it helped Riley get out of that inning. So it was a big deal for our dugout at the time.
I agree. Yep.
Any last questions?
Just for Jake, talk about battling through out there tonight. Maybe early on, not your best stuff, or trying to find the strike zone a little bit, but battling through and pitching your team into the seventh inning.
Yeah, you're not always going to have your best stuff, and it's very rare that you do. Everything's clicking. So, like I said earlier, it's just we preach compete every pitch, and I'm out there fighting for my teammates, fighting for my coaches, fighting for the name on the front of my jersey. So, every single pitch is the biggest pitch of the game. So that's kind of the way I look at it. And if you can approach every single pitch that way, it's the most important pitch, then you're going to have success more oftentimes than not. So.
Thanks.